Several major news has unfolded over the weekend, with the major headline being the National Convention of the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress electing a new national leadership to pilot its affairs for the next 4 years. The NDLEA is not resting in its war against trafficking of hard drugs, as the body intercepted substantial quantities of cocaine and cannabis ready for the export into 5 countries. This first segment will also have news tidbits from across the globe, particularly the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, now in its second month. On the other side of the news is our social diary program, People and Events, and this will be anchored by Mojisola Sholaja.
You're all welcome. People and Events will come up shortly. Don't miss any part of it. I'll be back.
My name is Bukola Agbakeso, and we say Happy Mother's Day celebration to all mothers out there. Don't go away, I'll be right back. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. The new Central Working Committee of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, has been elected on Saturday to oversee the affairs of the party in the next 4 years. While congratulating the committee members, President Muhammadu Buhari charged them to use their new office to unite the party, informing that the consensus arrangement adopted by the party in the selection of the new leaders was born out of the determination of the party to avoid the intending crisis that may erupt after the party's convention. President Muhammadu Buhari said the convention is coming at a crucial time when the party is preparing for another round of general election, calling on party members to be resolute, resilient, and be more united in order to achieve the expected victory at the poll. He also stressed that Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu, who is now the chairman, National Working Committee of the party, was among other positions elected on consensus basis.
Resolve our differences without jeopardizing our personal relationships and the fate of the party. I want to thank the Progressive Governors Forum for heeding to my advice and suggestions in settling the leadership dispute.
Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, and Speaker of House of Representatives Kamila also remarked at the occasion.
We must remain resolute and committed and focused on the vision of Mr. President to deliver on the economy, on security for all, and the fight against corruption.
We have achieved over 70%, probably maybe 90% today. That is to show how committed your administration has been to providing infrastructure across the country. And the story is the same in every part of Nigeria.
The All Progressive Congress is a triumph of vision over cynicism and principled action over apathy. As it was in the beginning, so it remains today. Together, we are a living monument to the principle that when patriots stand together in a righteous cause, God is ready to bless the work of their hands.
Now, Abeokuta, who was overwhelmed by the successful outing, thanked everyone for being part of the historic event.
Aspirants will become occupants of all the offices they are contesting. From all indications, we already have an emerging national chairman, because we understand that all others have actually written in line with the consensus arrangement and in line with the new electoral act that stipulates that they put their registration in writing. That's happened. So we have an emerging national chairman. The same way that has happened, I don't have a doubt that all the other positions will go in line.
The governor also used the occasion to thank the Ogun State contingent at the convention for the level of comportment, which, according to him, is a demonstration of the leadership role of the state in the Committee of States. Away from that now, Africa's biggest economy is crippled by soaring food prices, high unemployment and surging inflation, pushing millions of Nigerians into poverty and encouraging criminality. Ronke Adeyemi in this special report takes a look at the implication on Nigerians as rising prices deplete already meager incomes. A report.
Having pulled through the tedious COVID-19 pandemic and the inevitable recession that follows, the Nigeria economy has further plunged into a severe economic downturn, the worst since the 1980s, with a collapse in oil prices, diesel price skyrocketing, and the subsequently new surge in petrol pump price due to scarcity. Price increases across the board in every consumer items as the economy was buffeted by the insecurity, crisis in the foreign exchange market, unemployment and revenue shortfalls, with a continuous steep drop in the value of the currency repriced imported goods and raw materials. A surge in insecurity over the past years has further slowed economic activity and left more people unemployed, fueling a vicious cycle of violence and criminality. As prices are spiking rapidly and on a daily basis, the possibility of hyperinflation and its imminent fallout are
continue to have inflation if things are not going on very well. The exchange rate too is there. Most of the materials that we are buying, those ones that you used to buy for 3 naira are now being sold for 10 naira. So definitely, as a producer, we are going to spread all those additional costs on what we are going to sell.
And government needs to regulate this pump price to know the extent, because the pump price will definitely affect all the economy. A place that has been taken, maybe a taxi that is taken somewhere for 50 naira before, if the person is now buying fuel at the rate of 200 to 50 naira per liter, the bandwidth will be increased. And also, the price will be on the high side. What you get in the market at a certain rate last week, by the time you get there this week, it will be increased. So these are the things that government needs to work. And on our own local product here, could you imagine when the offered rice that were made here is more costlier than the imported rice?
Rising unemployment and inflation, high cost of living is pushing Nigerians into criminal enterprises to make up for lost earnings to these Nigerians.
And see what is happening to the price of fuel every day. I can give you an instance. With the last 2 weeks now, the price of diesel went from 340 to 415, from 415 to 540, to then now 720, 650. How do you marry that in this economy?
Someone that could not eat very well, that one could not afford to get things, they will end up coming up with all this kidnapping, insurgencies, all those things which will happen.
Respondents explain the possible way out of this never-ending maze.
Anybody that can afford it, let them have their own refinery. The idea of banning illegal, nothing is illegal. As long as they are buying from the government, they buy their petrol from the government, crude oil from the government, they refine it, and it will also create job. From every crude oil, we have more than 10 raw materials coming out of it. So as long as we have not done that, and we have not thought of at least diversifying our economy, we will continue to suffer.
Though key fiscal and monetary policy making lie mainly with the federal government, they urge states to make radical changes in their spending and revenue generation templates and run autonomous, self-sustaining economic units. Ronke Adeyemi, OGTV News.
The Minister Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeniyi Adebayo, has estimated cumulative investment in the 30 years of operations of the Free Zone Scheme in Nigeria at $20 billion. The minister made the disclosure at the inauguration of Nigeria Economic Processing Zones Authority, NEPZA, New Lagos office, while stating that the generous fiscal incentives associated with the Free Zone Scheme remained a veritable source of economic development. According to him, the Free Zone in 2021 generated 250 billion naira in both foreign and local direct investments, 35 billion naira in customs duty payment, and 65 billion naira in local import and backward linkage. The scheme generated 500 million naira in pay-as-you-earn, 25,000 in new employment and 5,000 transfers of skills. He applauded NEPSA for achieving those feats in such a short time, as it goes to show that the dedication and the right mix of human capital of which NEPSA is sufficiently blessed, there are no limits to what can be achieved. The mission is to formulate and implement policies and programs to attract investments, boost industrialization, increase trade and exports, and develop enterprises. On health, Nigeria has recorded 29 additional Lassa fever infections and 6 deaths across 11 states of the Federation. The latest situation report released by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, shows that the new cases were reported for the 11th week of 2022, spanning March 14 to 20, 2022. The report shows that the number of confirmed cases decreased from 33 in the previous week to 29 cases, raising the total number of infections recorded in 2022 to 659 across 91 local government areas in 23 states of the Federation. The Disease Control Center stated in the report that cumulatively from the first week to the 11th week of 2022, 123 deaths have been reported with a case fatality rate of 18.7%. The report shows that of the 11 states that accounted for the new cases, Ondo, Edo, and Bauchi states maintained the top of the infection chart with 68%. Ondo State in the southwest topped the infection chart with 29%, while Edo and Bauchi states accounted for 24 and 15% of the infections respectively. The other states are Taraba, Kogi, Enugu, Ebonyi, Nasarawa, Oyo, Plateau, and Anambra. A report issued by the National Information Technology Development Agency as regards the University Transparency and Accountability Solution proposed by the Academic Staff Union of Universities has revealed that the UTAS scored 99.3% in 698 test cases. The report was issued by the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy and NITDA. The deployment of UTAS as a payment platform for lecturers in Nigerian universities has been one of the bones of contention as regards the ongoing strike by the union. It was reported in 2020 how ASU had gone on strike following the decision of the federal government to enroll all university lecturers on the IPPIS platform. ASU had also presented UTAS as a payment platform, which it said was developed to ensure smooth payment of salaries for lecturers. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, during the negotiations had said the government would look into the deployment of the UTAS by handing it over to NITDA for assessments, but the federal government has yet to adopt the UTAS. The Joint Action Committee, JAC, of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANO, and Non-Academic Staff Union of Allied and Educational Institutions, NASU, have declared that they will embark on a 2-week warning strike starting from Monday, 28th March. This may completely cripple activities in the public universities, considering the ongoing strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and the National Association of Academic Technologists, NATS. ASU had extended its strike by 2 months at the expiration of its 4-week warning strike, which is declared on Monday, February 14. Also, NAT barely 6 days ago directed its members to commence a 2-week warning strike due to the alleged failure of the federal government to implement agreements reached with the union. Both SANU and NASU have equally joined the industrial action after strike was declared on Friday. The unions blamed its decision on failure of the Nigerian government to react to its letter earlier issued threatening to down tool. The responsibility and challenge of caring for visually impaired persons cannot be overemphasized. Our society needs to understand their difficulties, recognize their abilities, and learn to cooperate and communicate with them seamlessly. This came to the fore during an empowerment program organized by the Nigeria Association of the Blind, Ogun State Chapter. Our reporter, Margaret Okunlola, reports that the state chairman of the association, Rotarian Joseph Bulugbe, said it is an initiative targeted at improving the standard of living of its members. A report.
Vision impairment has been interpreted in different, most times controversial ways. It has been stereotyped and labeled by sighted people and has thus affected the acceptance of visually impaired persons into the society life. But disability, they say, is not inability. To this end, the Nigeria Association of the Blind, Ogun State's chapter, organized an empowerment program for its members to improve their standards of living. Beneficiaries presented with various items ranging from fridge, grinding machines, and other household utensils appreciated the association, as they say it will go a long way in improving their socio-economic standards. Rotarian Joseph Bulugbe, the Ogun State's chairman of Nigeria Association of the Blind, challenged the society to associate with visually impaired persons with empathy and not sympathy.
The society needs to realize that we are part of the community, we are part of the larger community, and we can contribute to the development of this community. I mean Ogun State and Nigeria at large, if given that opportunity. What we need is not sympathy, it's empathy. So we need the society, the community to encourage us, to give us the support.
The focal point of the event, as summarized by dignitaries present, was that coping with vision loss is a brave and ambitious thing to do at any age, and therefore such should not be underestimated.
We will continue to work stronger, because before we were not hearing of programs by the blind. These people have come together to make sure that blind people are seen and heard.
Challenge of moving from one point to the other, that is mobility, moving from one point to the other. Challenge of even interaction, getting people to interact with you. At times you get to some hospital, you get to some banks, the first impression they have about a blind person, they see the white cane before they see you.
I will advise them to join the association, because it's an advantage for them. From there, they can get way forward to their life.
Awards of recognition were given to notable personalities in appreciation of their support to the development of the association. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
Ereno Day is a century-old tradition and culture of Idowa people. It is one of the most colorful cultural celebrations in Ijebu-land, as it connotes the journey of Owa Otutubiosun, the 13th Awujale of Ijebu-land, from Ijebu-Odi to Idowa. Idowa community was agog for the 3-in-1 celebration, as Oba Yunusa Oladile Adekoya, the Daburewe of Idowa, celebrated his 87th birthday, his 29th coronation anniversary, and 2022 Ereno Day.
Idowa is one of the very many homesteads of Ijebu people in Udogbolu local government area of Ogun State that takes its origin from Ijebu-Ode. Ereno Day, or Festival of Arts and Culture, remains the symbol of unity of Idowa people. It was for the monarch of the ancient agrarian settlement, Oba Yunusa Oladile Adekoya, the Daburewe of Idowa, who is celebrating his 87th birthday, his 29th year coronation anniversary on the throne of his forefathers, and Ereno Festival. Odeila, over the years, has always been the venue of the celebration. It is a tradition for the Kabiesi to dance 3 times at this open field in different regalia, with all its subject dancing first and paying homage ranging from the Oloris, prince and princesses from the 4 ruling houses in Idowa, the Agbejoye ruling house, Arijeloye, Anowoneyo, and Agbomagbe, the current ruling house. For Oba Yunusa Oladile Adekoya, the Dagburewe of Idowa, Ereno Day connotes the journey of the founder of Idowa, Owa Otutubiosun, who is also the 13th Awujale of Ijebu land.
There was a vacancy at Ijebu Day, so they requested that the Oba here should move back to Ijebu Day to assume the position of the Awujale. So that was the leg 1. Leg 2, when there was a vacancy here, the other man came and took over. So, and that is why they called us Mejipo.
This year's Ereno Day was described by all and sundry as a memorable one, and it had in attendance dignitaries from all walks of life, with indigents not left out, one of whom is Adeoluwa Ushaga, popularly called Saga, who came 6th at the 2021 edition of the Big Brother Naija show. Flogging, a common feature of the celebration by young men and ladies, added glamour to the festival.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intercepted substantial quantities of methamphetamine, cocaine, and cannabis sativa packaged for export to 5 countries. The countries are Australia, China, Qatar, Ireland, and Thailand through some courier companies in Lagos. This is contained in a statement by the Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA, Mr. Babafemi, in Abuja. It said that the officers intercepted 2.9 kg of methamphetamine in packs of black soap and from a toner machine heading to Australia and Qatar. He added that they also seized 600 grams of cocaine concealed in school certificates and file folders going to Australia and Thailand. He said that 3 suspects, Larry Samuel, Mark James, and Happiness Joseph, were arrested at the drug hub with 339.524 kg of cannabis sativa, methamphetamine, and tramadol. Meanwhile, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, said that 2 drug traffickers have excreted a total of 165 wraps of cocaine following the arrest at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA, Mr. Femi Babafemi, said this in a statement in Abuja. Babafemi, who named the suspect as Elvis Iro, 53, and Uwazu Eke, Christian, 42, said that they were arrested by operatives of the NDLEA. He said that the suspects excreted the drugs while under observation in the agency's custody. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has confirmed an upgrade of the Nigerian Police Force Crime Reporting Mobile Application NPF Rescue Me. The Acting Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi made this known in a statement in Abuja. He said the application was designed for effective reporting of emergencies, criminal activities, and professional misconducts of police officers to ensure rapid and immediate response by operatives of the force. Adejobi said the NPF Rescue Me app was improved to redefine security and personalize policing by enabling Android and iOS users to download the app from the various app stores. According to him, the step is for the public to register with their details and have access to a variety of features, including emergency services, crime reporting, navigation, and ambulance services. The application also has an emergency button that alerts operatives at the Nigerian Police National Command and Control Center in cases of depression. He said once this alert is received, the operatives immediately send out the required assistance to victims irrespective of the locations within the country. He advised the public to download the application into their mobile gadgets and input some required information for improved services and for their personal safety. Adejobi reiterated the commitment of the Nigerian Police Force to exploring the use of cutting-edge technology for combating crime and responding to emergency situations. An educationist, a queen, and one of the most trusted administrators in the education industry in Nigeria is gone. Grace Alele-Williams, Nigeria's first female university vice-chancellor and first female doctorate degree holder in mathematics, died on Friday, March 25, 2022. Bumi Adego takes a look at the life and times of the old students of Queen's College. His report.
Professor Grace Alele-Williams, an educationist, was born on December 16, 1932 in Warri, in the present-day Delta State. The deceased made history when she became the first female vice-chancellor at the University of Benin, Uniben, Edo State. She was also the first Nigerian woman to receive a doctorate degree in mathematics. Mrs. Alele-Williams attended Government School Warri, Queen's College Lagos, and University College Ibadan, now University of Ibadan. She returned to her alma mater in 1957 to receive a master's degree in mathematics and a PhD degree in mathematics education at the University of Chicago in 1963, thereby making her the first Nigerian woman to be awarded a doctorate in such field. Mrs. Alele-Williams returned to Nigeria for a couple of years postdoctoral work at the University of Ibadan before joining the University of Lagos in 1965. She was in 1985 appointed the Vice Chancellor at Uniben and held the office until 1992. Alele-Williams received multiple awards, including the Order of the Niger in 1987, Fellow of the Mathematical Association of Nigeria, Fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Education, Merit Award of the Old Bendel State in Nigeria on February 28, 2014, and the nation's Centenary Award. She married a political scientist, Dr. Babatunde Williams, in December 1963, who at that time was a senior lecturer at the then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Osun State. Grace Alele-Williams had 5 children as of 2017 and 10 grandchildren.
Well, I think my stay for 20 years in Lagos me through that. Unfortunately, when I saw what was being written, I knew the Nigerian situation had been brought into it. And the Nigerian situation is that we are becoming tribalistic, which I hope you'll go on to next.
Yes.
It has become tribalistic. But at the same time, the fact that they're becoming tribalistic does not mean I should demote my university. I will bring it up as much as I can, but some people may be needed to be taught lessons. Not taught lessons which deprive them of their position as educated and well-instructed persons in their areas of teaching. But outside the areas of teaching in the university, if they behave wrongly, I will do what has to be done.
May her soul rest in peace. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
May God continue to rest our soul. Now for news. More than 3.8 million people have fled Ukraine since Russia's invasion a month ago. UN figures showed on Sunday that the flow of refugees has slowed down remarkably. The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, said over 3 million Ukrainians had fled the country, an increase of 48,450 from Saturday's figure. Around 90% of them are women and children, it added. Of those who have left, 2.2 million have fled for neighboring Poland, while more than 500,000 have made it to Romania. Nearly 300,000 have gone to Russia. Before the crisis began a month ago, EU member Poland was home to around 1.5 million Ukrainians. In total, more than 10 million people, over a quarter of the population in regions under government control before the February 24 invasion, are now thought to have fled their homes, including nearly 6.5 million who are internally displaced. Ukraine's refugee crisis is Europe's worst since World War II. The UN Children's Agency, UNICEF, said Thursday that 4.3 million children, more than half of Ukraine's estimated 7.5 million child population, had been forced to leave their homes. It puts at some 1.5 million the number of those children who have become refugees, while another 2.5 million are displaced inside their war-ravaged country, it said. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has denied that the United States has any plan to bring about regime change in Russia or anywhere else. Mr. Blinken's comments come a day after President Joe Biden said his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, should not be allowed to remain in power. Mr. Biden made the unscripted remark at the end of a speech in Poland. Mr. Blinken said the president simply made the point that Mr. Putin could not be allowed to wage war against Ukraine. The Kremlin dismissed Mr. Biden's remark, saying it was for Russians to choose their leader. Over now to Mojisola Sholaja for People and Events.